I'd just like to show you a few little simple wild camping come bushcraft skills I did when I was in my mid to late teens and a bit older as well. That was the mid 1970s onwards into the 1980s, and just simple little things that people don't do anymore really, mainly because better things came along, and the manufacturers sort of sussed out what we were doing and just made their own. And so instead of me making things, people making things, you could buy them these days. And to be honest with you, it's all right buying this stuff, it's fine, but it's quite satisfying making it as well. So it's really simple things. And anyway, I'll show you what I'm on about. Okay, let's crack on. Well, first of all, you've seen these plastic bottles you put your sugar in or whatever. Well, before these came along, I used to use 35mm camera cases, and you could get them for nothing in the camera shop where they developed your film, but people don't do that these days. So you can get them on eBay and Amazon as well. I used to get them for nothing. They used to go in the camera shop, and they used to just rummage in the bins and get a few free ones and give them to you. So but you've got to buy them now. So there you go. They're not expensive, but they're waterproof. And what you could use them for is lots of things really. Shampoo, if you got short hair, that could last about a couple of weeks. Or if you got long hair, you know, not so long, but a week maybe. You could put salt and pepper in it. You have two of them, salt and pepper. You could even tape them in the middle there and as one unit, and have one salt and one pepper. There's no holes in the top. You just have to get the salt, pinch it with your finger and put it on your food. Same with the pepper. Dried herbs, you could put sugar in them, potassium permanganate, matches was the main one. They fit about 5 AAA batteries, or you could put 3 AAA batteries in and a couple of little spongy year defenders. There's all sorts really. If you put matches in them, I've got a sewing kit in this actually. There you go, there's my little sewing kit. Not much, just a few needles and some thread, and that's it. But I'll take that out, just put that there a minute. Now if you put sugar in, if you put matches in there, you put you get I mean, people don't use matches anymore, but I don't think so anyway. They use little plastic lighters or maybe the Zippos, but if you put matches in, you put them in head downwards, and you get non-safety matches, which is the orange matches, and comes in a box with a little like a sandpaper on the side, and they'll strike on anything really. You can strike them on the stones as well. But if you fill it full of matches, put the heads down, so when you pick it up with damp fingers, you won't affect the striking bit. They won't go off. You can shake it as much as possible. It's not gonna go off, believe me. Also, just a little thing on matches. If you take a matchbox out in the field, eventually after a couple of days, it's going to go damp, and the little striker on the side is going to go all beady and roll up. It's going to go all damp. It's not going to work. So yeah, matches with the heads downwards. And I used to get a coin, a 2p coin, that didn't fit in there, or a 1p coin would, and get a penknife. This is an old one I don't use anymore. It's in the drawer in the kitchen. And get the metal saw. Let's see. Where are you? Should have prepped this before. Where's the metal saw? There it is. You get these metal saws. Yeah, metal saws. And I used to get a little coin and then saw little grooves in it. Hold it 45 degrees and rough it up on the one side, and then get the match, get the coin and strike it on the rough side. I actually put that in a magazine, either one of the trail magazines or Great Outdoors, I can't remember now, in the 1990s, mid-1990s, and they printed that. I thought it was quite funny, like. But anyway, yeah, 35mm camera cases. You can use them for almost lots of things, lots and lots of things. I've just mentioned a few. But matches in the day was the main thing. Though there's another use as well. Let's just get that. I'll get my knife a minute. What we used to do is you had for that full of matches or whatever you wanted to put in it. You'd wrap fishing line around there and then put insulation tape around the outside to hold it in, a bit like that really, but a bit more. And then used to tape it to the side of your sheath like that. Just tape it round. Now bear in mind, you didn't have these facilities years ago, so we used to just sort of make our own up. Yeah, well, there you go. Used to tape it on like that, and that's what we used to do. Well, that's what I used to do anyway. So yeah, so that's the 35mm camera case. Very handy, an old thing that has gone now and been replaced with a bigger and better thing. There you go, old, new. Okay, a cork. Now what the hell did we used to do with a cork? Well, you can use it for cam cream to camouflage your face. If you're a hunter or maybe a soldier or something, and you didn't have your cam cream or your cam stick, or you know, or something like that, and what you used to do is just burn the end. Just like that, like. And then wait till it cools, I suppose. And then use it as a crude cam cream. Suppose you could use it as a fire lighter as well. Get you going, a little bit of a candle. Yeah, there you are, cam cream. I'm not going to put it on my face. I got to drive back from you. But yeah, there you go. A crude cam cream. And it won't hurt the skin either. So there you go. And the other thing you could use a cork for is, you know, that old skill where you magnetize a needle and then float it on a leaf and then put it in some still water and then it'll turn. Well, instead of using a leaf, you can use a cork. You can float the magnetized needle on top of the cork or stick it through like that. It'll float in the water, and then if it's magnetized properly, it'll turn towards north. So there you go. You could use a cork for that as well. Okay, tea bag. What the hell can you do with a tea bag apart from making tea? Well, you can make fire. Well, what you do is, as long as it's dry, get rid of the tea, either put it in a container and keep it for later, or throw it away. I'm going to throw it away. And the bag is so flimsy it will go up with a spark, a bit like cotton wool. So there you go. Or like reed mace seed as well. So yeah, and it's not too much of a flash tinder. It keeps going for a little while. So you can make a fire. Well, make a fire. I should say use it as tinder. Really, it's a tinder. And just to show it's not a bluff or a fluke. Easy, goes up real easy. So if you get stuck and you got some tea bags, you can sacrifice your tea to get a fire going. Oh, another little thing, when these first came out, this bit didn't used to be a properly made bit of steel like that. It used to be a hacksaw blade, a bit of a hacksaw blade, because the end of a hacksaw blade has got a hole, and they used to have a bit about that long, and used to use one of them instead. But now they use proper steels with these flints. So there you go, that's that. Okay, you can light a hexi block using a flint and steel, and what you do is you treat it like birch bark really. If you got a wax coated hexi block, then scrape the wax off, scrape it up into a powder, nice, and then light it with a flint and steel. So I'll just do that now. Get the wax off completely, otherwise it won't work. Do very carefully so you don't cut yourself. And then create a powder. Takes a little while, but you got the time, haven't you, when you're doing this stuff? It's not easy actually, but it can be done. I've done it a few times. I did it in one of my films when I was on the Bodmin Moors. So let's see if I could do it with that. There you go. And that's how you that's how you light a hexi block using a flint and steel. And then you can grab the whole lot then and put it where you want. So there you go. You have to grab it with your hand upwind, because if the wind is going that way, it's gonna burn your skin. So there you go, and that'll carry on. Okay, potassium permanganate, and inside here is sugar. And a lot of people on YouTube show that you grind them both together, but you don't really need to do that. All you need to do, really, and it is easier, is to just mix it up and just light it with a flint and steel. So here's your potassium permanganate. Here's a bit of sugar. Oops. And put the lid back on so it doesn't get damp. And a lot of people on YouTube mix it to do this and it'll ignite, but it is very difficult to get going. Just mix it up like I just did and just light it. Just light it with a flint and steel like this. Easy peasy. And there you go, get your fire going. You don't have to grind it. Okay, what I've got here is a homemade millbank bag that doubles up as a roll mat cover to protect your roll mat so it doesn't get scuffed as you're going along. And what I've done is it's a bottom end, the back and bottom end of an old German army jacket, or a Parker actually. And what I've done, that's the bottom end with the hem going round your back. That little bit of stitch in there is the draw cord around the waist. And what I've done, I've just cut out the back up to about there, folded it over inside out so the inside is on the outside, just sewed it together on that side and that side, and that's the folded bit, and then turn it the right way and you've got a crude millbank bag come roll mat cover. So there you go. And it's very satisfying making these things. They're really good. And also I've got utility bags as well. That's the bottom end, the bottom of a leg of a combat trousers, British Army trousers. There's the bottom bit where your foot comes out. Just cut it up there, sew it inside out, and then turn it the right way so the sewn bit is on the inside. And you've got a little bag to put your bits in. And what I've done also is wax it. And I've done a film previous on how to wax a combat jacket, or how to wax a bushcraft jacket. So if you want to know how to do that, you can watch that film as well. So I've got a really tough cloth bag that lasts 20 years, maybe more than that. That's waterproof and it's very satisfying making these things. It's brilliant. And I've got another one here, very similar. Same again. Part of a jacket, folded inside out, sewn, and then put the right way so the sewn's on the inside, and waxed as well, like I've waxed my jacket on the other film. And yeah, it would last for years and years. This some sort of bag that you can hold your stuff. And actually you could further this to make a shopping bag to go shopping, you know, instead of using the bloody plastic bags. You know, they last for years. So if you like that sort of thing and you're a bit eco-friendly, get yourself a bit of old cloth and make yourself a shopping bag. Or if you're a wild camper and bushcrafter, make yourself some utility bags like this and give it waxing as well, so it's waterproof. Or you could make a little water filter, a crude millbank bag. This doubles up as a roll mat cover. So there you go, that's that. Well, there you go. I hope you like them little tricks that I've shown you, little things I used to do years ago, and what I've picked up, and just little things that I've never seen on YouTube, so maybe you have, I don't know, but it's something I've never seen, so I thought I wanted to put them across, you know, because they're things that haven't been shown, I don't think. So just little bits. I didn't want to put them on a hill walking film. I thought I'd just put all the little bits together on one little film, and show you what I used to do years ago, you know, and what people did, you know, before the manufacturers came along and made these things. And one little thing I didn't show, well, I couldn't show really, it was a friend of mine used to get a 1980s British Army jacket, and they used to have a flap on the inside buttoned up at the top of the back, or top of your bum, I should say, bottom of your back, yeah. And what he did was he made a rucksack out of it, a very crude rucksack. And what he did, there's no sticks involved or anything. All he did was pull the bottom hem as tight as possible, so there's just a tiny hole, and get the flap, undo it, cover the hole up, and re-button it up on the front, because there used to be a set of buttons on the front of the stomach part as well, down below. So and that covered up the bottom bit, and the cuff used to be buttoned cuff. It used to be a button cuff, and he put the buttonhole, he undone the cuff and got the buttonhole of the cuff and buttoned it to the bottom pocket, and did that both sides, and he made a crude rucksack out of a British Army combat jacket from the 1980s. So yeah, people used to do some strange things years ago before the manufactured gear came out, and it was quite interesting to learn these things. So that's what I wanted to put across ultimately. So there you go. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and feel free to share and like and all that. So cheers, thanks very much.